Hello everybody and welcome to Notorious Yugioh. I'm Notorious Cly, and this is part 3 of our TDGP gameplay with my commentary. As I mentioned in my last video, this is going to be some of the more interesting non-meta matchups I had over the TDGP, so let's not waste any more time and let's jump right into these replays. And our first matchup is going to be against Declan Akaba, if I pronounce that even remotely correct. I haven't watched Arc V, Arc 5 everybody. And we're going to go ahead and go first. And our opener looks decent. They're on balance, which to me could mean a couple things. Could mean muskets, could mean DM, or could mean another mystery deck that you might find out about in a couple seconds here. So we're going to go ahead and look at the opener. We look great here. We have full combo with the Solemn Scolding. Ideally, I'd like to see a Wild Wind in the opening hand so I could have Red Nova, Solemn Scolding, and the extra Resonator traded out for a Doom Caliber Knight, but we'll take Red Nova plus Solemn Scolding pass. That is the default setting after all. Not really a whole lot to do on turn 1 for Resonators, so we just gonna go ahead and make Red Nova Dragon. We're gonna special Crimson, special Wild Wind, Synchro Summon for Red Rising Dragon, bring back Crimson, special summon 2 red, target Red Rising, gain life points, Synchro Summon Red Dragon Archfiend, then make Red Nova Dragon. And it turns out they're on War Rock, so our opponent is gonna activate their Dual Runner spell, skill, not spell, add another field spell. They're going to go ahead and attack. We're going to go ahead and banish, and we got some life points, so we'll just end up eating it. They're going to add another Meteor Dragon, and then we're going to go ahead and bring back the Red Nova Dragon during the end phase. So right now, this board isn't very threatening. The most threatening thing about it is that back row, as always. Resonators has monster removal galore. I am not worried about wiping the board, especially when you consider that we're going to get some speed counters here, and we're going to be able to let Red Nova Dragon attack all monsters my opponent controls and deal piercing damage if we want to. So we're gonna go ahead and banish Wild Wind for another Crimson, trade out a Crimson for Wild Wind. Dark Hole off the top was kind of mid. Nice to have comfort that if we do get board wipe, we'd be okay. But we're gonna go ahead special Crimson, special Wild Wind. They're gonna flip Floodgate. We're gonna Solemn Scolding that. Love having the Solemn Scolding on the offensive. It's so great to just be able to blank whatever key interaction your opponent think they have. And then we're going to go ahead and Synchro Summon back. We Synchro Summon back the red just because I won't be able to use Crimson's effect to bring another Resonator from deck because I control more than just one Dark Dragon Synchro monster. So we're going to bring back the red, gain a bunch of life points, hopefully add on to our grind game if we're not able to kill our opponent here. And we're going to make Dark End Dragon with the red plus the Red Rising. So Dark End's effect is going to send, then we're going to go Black Rose, and we're going to go Black Rose. So we're going to give it piercing, and we're going to give it the ability to attack all monsters my opponent controls. And the reason why I did that is because I knew the Fortitia would be able to special summon another War Rock when we went into the battle phase. So I wanted to make sure I could clear as much of my opponent's interaction as possible with Red Nova Dragon. So we're going to go ahead and go Red Nova Dragon, attack the Meteor Dragon, and they are going to go ahead and protect it. And unfortunately, we are going to be 100 life points off because of the life point gain that they got from their War Rock monsters. So let's see what they can do on the follow-up. I'm feeling pretty good about this because I have a big enough life point cushion that I don't think I'll have to worry about them smashing me for game. And Red Nova Dragon is going to be able to negate an attack, which means I should be able to keep the big body, the smash for game on the follow-up. So they're going to go ahead and use the skill to grab another field spell. They're going to Book of Moon the Red Nova Dragon. That's not what you like to see. They're going to Necro Valley. They're going to attack. And then they realize they attacked with the wrong monster, I guess, or attacked in the wrong order, or they just didn't have an out for Red Nova Dragon in defense position. Turns out being a 3000 defender counts for something, I guess. And our next duel is going to be against Antinomy. This is what happens when you try to do a bunch of replays in one night. You end up mispronouncing a whole bunch of words. So they're on, also known as Bruno. That's not as hard to mess up. And our opener looks mid as can be, especially going first. This is not where you want to be. Fortunately, we do have the means to make a synchro play with red, which means we gain life points, which means Solemn Scolding isn't going to put us in like super danger of lethal, but it's still going to put us low enough on life points because we're not going to have any interaction other than Solemn Scolding. So it's going to be up to us to use the Solemn Scolding at the perfect time to ensure we survive. So we're going to Demon's Resonance, swap out a red for a Wild Wind. We have to. We need a combo. We're going to normal red. We're going to go ahead and use red effect. Special summon the Wild Wind. Red Rising Dragon. Red Rising, bring back the red. Red, target Red Rising, gain 2100, set the 1 Scolding. I have 2 Scoldings here. There is an argument for setting both of them in case your opponent has MST, especially if they're going second, because they're going to get the extra card off the top. But in a position like this where my board is already as weak as it is, I need that Solemn Scolding to be live at all times. I can't risk it by turning it off by setting another Solemn Scolding. So they're going to go ahead and Flight Control Drillfish for Jet Falcon. Catapult's going to bring something out, and they're going to go Star Guardian here. Jet Falcon's going to burn me, and they're going to go Star Guardian, and I'm thinking this is the perfect time for me to go ahead and use Solemn Scolding on the Star Guardian effect. Mostly because they only have 3 cards in hand, they've already used Flight Control, and they didn't lead with something like TG Striker, which is the logical choice to start with if you're doing a combo, because you're never guaranteed that the set card I have isn't like Book Moon, which would turn off Striker. So you would want to lead with the one that could special summon itself, and then normal the Catapult Dragon behind it to try and make a follow-up play. So I'm thinking Star Guardian is the perfect target for Solemn Scolding. We're going to go ahead and negate and destroy, and we're going to win because it was in fact the perfect time. They knew that they weren't going to have a follow-up play because they already burned their normal summon, they burned their skill activation, and apparently they didn't have any back row in hand to help keep them around. So I feel pretty good about my chances of winning on the crackback since we put Wild Wind in Grave, which means we can get Crimson, which means we can Synchro Summon the red we have on board with the Red Rising into a level 8, and then use Crimson to bring out multiple Resonators if we need to, and just start Synchro climbing, build big monsters, and swing for game. And we have another Declan matchup. And we're going to go first this time. We'll see what the opener looks like. And they're on DDD, thanks to the skill activation. We know that right off the rip. And our hand looks pretty good for going against DDD. We have 2 Resonators, one of them being Crimson, which means we have access to Wild Wind, so we get full combo through Crimson and Wild Wind, and we open a Doom Caliber Knight, which is not bad, because we get the normal summon behind and add to our board. Then on top of that, we have the MST, which is perfect against the Pendulum matchup. So we're going to go ahead and special Crimson. And I'm special in Crimson here because I don't know why. I think in the moment, I thought somehow that would give me a clue if they were on DD Crow. But I don't have anything in Graveyard to proc DD Crow to give them something to go off of. So it was really just me being silly. So we're going to go ahead and grab the Wild Wind. Special Wild Wind. We're going to speed this up because you all have seen it a million times. Red Rising, grab Crimson. Special 2, gain life points. Synchro and Red Nova Dragon. Normal the Doom Cal and set the MST. So they're going to lead with Kepler. Okay, probably not where you want to be as a DD player. You need Kepler to resolve unless your hand is really good. And Doom Caliber Knight is going to negate it. And that's going to get a scoop. Sometimes it's that easy, everybody. And our last duel for the night is going to be against Leo. And I'm thinking it's going to be an equip spell-centric deck. So something like Dragoonity, something like Noble Knights. And then we see that Leo is using Life Boost and Jack's Dual Runner, so it is probably not any of those. So it could literally be anything at this point. Fortunately, they're going first, so we're going to see what they're on. They're going to normal Harpy Chandler, pitch a Perfumer to special Perfumer, and add the Feather Rest. Fortunately, this is a matchup that I'm pretty familiar with, and I'm feeling pretty good about it based on my hands. I'm going to have access to Crimson and Wild Wind because of the 2 calls. I have an Extender in Monster Reborn, and I have an extra Resonator in hand, which is red, to go ahead and normal summon if things get dicey with any back row that they have. So let's see what kind of board they can set up and think about how we're going to play through it. So they're going to Synchro Cyber Slash. We all know this play. We had to sit through it for about a year. Egotist for another Harpy to get a little bit of attack boost there. They're going to Feather Rest, restock their deck, and load up on their hand. And yikes, that's never where you want to be as a Harpy player with a 1 back row. Normally you want lots of stuff in that back row so you can use that interaction to 2-for-1 your opponent at a key point with Cyber Slash. And unfortunately for them, we top decked the MST, so this is playing with house money now. MST, turns out it was Book Moon, that's good, we got rid of it, and we're going to speed this up for a little bit, because we're just going to go normal Resonator combo. We're going to grab Crimson, we're going to swap out 1 Crimson for Wild Wind, and we're going to go ahead and Special Crimson, Special Wild Wind, Red Rising, Crimson, Crimson effect, 2 reds, red, gain life points, and we're going to go ahead and go Dark End. I want Dark End here just because I want to be able to this monster, and with the Monster Reborn in hand, it's going to allow us to abuse Dark End, because Dark End is not a hard once per turn. You can only use the effect of Darkened Dragon once per turn per copy. So you can recycle it from the graveyard and use it again. So that's my 2 monster clears right there. So we're going to Synchro Summon Bane, use Monster Reborn to bring back Dark End to remove, and smash for game. Sometimes you got it. Sometimes you top deck the MST. Alright everyone, that's going to do it for our TDGP replays. I hope all of you guys enjoyed this content. I hope all of you enjoyed the massive amount of Resonator replays I've been spamming you with. It's the deck I love the most, and I'm very excited to see that we have some potential new skills and new support coming. Some leaks on the dueling subreddit that I'm holding out hope for. So when those are confirmed, expect a video from me kind of breaking down what I think and what the potential for the new skill or support could be. Until then, be safe, have fun, everybody.